But for those of you that are here, thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Jaden Schaller. I'm with ROC Title. I'm in customer service. And today we have the pleasure of having Kelly Bernardi with us today. She is the owner of My Agent Edge. She helps all the realtors with any of your guys' social media needs. She's amazing. Again, thank you for joining. We do encourage all of you guys to turn your cameras on and your microphones on if you can. We'd like to have these to be as interactive as possible. So feel free to join or type in the chat, ask any questions you want, and then Kelly, it is all you. Oh, and then also real quick, we are doing 30 minutes after the session. If anyone has any questions, Kelly will be happy to answer them. So thank you guys.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. All right, it's awesome to be here. Hi, everybody. Again, my name is Kelly. I'm with My Agent Edge. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Okay, perfect. Everyone can see my screen okay?
Yes.
All right, perfect. And yes, again, feel free to chime in with any questions. So typically my workshops are very interactive. It almost becomes more of like a round table type thing, which is super fun. So we've been working with agents for almost 6 years now. So a lot of fun little, hopefully tips and tricks and little takeaways and nuggets that you can get even outside of Linktree, just kind of as we go along and brainstorm. So looking forward to that. And again, that Q&A at the end, anything, I'm an open book. So if you want to pick my brain afterwards, we'll go ahead and do that. And also this workshop too is a lot of different screens, and I might go a little bit quickly, but as I mentioned in the little flyer, so you can work with me as you go if you'd like. My recommendation would be you can even, I think I said, hop on from your phone to watch and then work off your computer, which is easier. But Linktree does have a very user-friendly app as well. But as a follow-up, I send a really neat little Linktree 101. It's one of the most user-friendly tools we've ever used for agents. So if you want to sit back and relax, absorb the info, we'll have a thorough follow-up for you where you will be able to go in and build your own with ease. So I will go ahead and get started on kind of just a quick little thing of what Linktree is. So Linktree it's an all-in-one link hub. It is awesome. To me, I really describe it sometimes as like a free mini website, or like a blocker to a website or a stepping stone to it. So in Linktree, we are able to build links. We can highlight listings, we can highlight events, we can highlight everything local. It really makes you look like the local expert. But for a lot of agents that we get, they struggle with like their website. A lot of them will have maybe a stock website, or they don't want to spend a ton of money on like a super enhanced, expensive website. And so they struggle with that. Oops.
Sorry.
And so Linktree is a free tool that basically can replace your website if you want it to, which is really cool. So you'll see how that all goes. But these are just some examples of some agent Linktrees. These were some examples I pulled. And then this one here for Ryan, he's actually a client of ours that is super active with his Linktree. And so just kind of showing you some examples of all the different things that we can build here. So getting them to all the places you want them to go, all of your contact information, property searches, featured listings, sending them to YouTube if you'd like, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll be building one, and then we can refer back to these for some examples as well. Oops. Let me just go over. So where can we use our Linktree? So Linktree is a link. So we can take that link. I'll also show you how to make it into a QR code. So we can use it across any of our social media handles. So I love this because, again, if you're an agent that doesn't really love your website, but it's like you have to put a website, we can replace it with this custom Linktree link. So this can go on any of your social media accounts. We can also use it in all of our marketing pieces. So we can embed it in our email signature. We've got a client who just on the back of his business card did just a QR code that is going to his Linktree. We can put it on postcards, mailers, listing flyers, brochures. We can link out to it from our website. We've got clients that will do like a jumbo sign when people are leaving open houses. Thank you for visiting. Let's connect, and a huge QR code to scan to go to Linktree. So it's like all of a sudden agents are excited about doing the QR codes or the links because it's taking them to a place that's very controlled. And that is, we're like steering the ship on where we want our people to go, right? So our sphere, buyers, sellers, we can really organize it in a nice way for that. So our plan today is I'm going to show you how to create a free account. I'll show you how to build out a simple profile. We'll learn how to build the links together. Once you learn how to do one, it's like you can do any of them. Same with collections. We'll talk about really grouping the links and getting it really clean and organized. We'll also go over some aesthetics, lots of fun link ideas and things like that. And then we can, if anyone needs help with like specific links or in that Q&A too, we can talk about some, if you need help finding some, I can help you as well. You know, everyone has kind of different resources on their websites and things like that. So just some custom link ideas. We'll go over all of this, but just really quickly. So we can feature our listings, buyer and seller guides, which Title provides some awesome ones. So I'll go over how we can add those if you don't have those. Home valuation tools, home searches, book a call with me, sign up for my newsletters, a great one if you're investing in like monthly email newsletter services. Our clients, we always make sure that that link to view and subscribe is front and center in Linktree. About me. And then we can do like custom home searches. So upcoming open houses. Here in Arizona, we might put like search for homes with a pool, right? As summer approaches. And then we can do like reading and leaving reviews. So, I mean, this is just really the tip of the, there is so much that we can do here, but these are just some ideas as we kind of go along. So that is it for that before we go into truly building out the Linktree. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to set up an account. So don't mind me. I'm like looking at two different screens. But I'm basically just going to go to linktree.com. So you can just Google Linktree and then we'll go straight to linktree.com and we will sign up for free. I'm going to use my assistant's email. I've done so many for all my emails that I'm going to use hers real quick. All right. So we're going to sign up. I'm going to put hers in. So when you do this, it will create a username. I like to recommend first name, last name only if that is available just for SEO purposes. I know that we're kind of inclined to put like real estate agent or something like that. Hers is already taken. So I will at that point add an RE to the end of it. But we kind of want to keep as many SEO characters as we can tied to your first name and last name for Google searches. So that's just what we recommend here. Later, we can do a lot with our name and such. So again, first name, last name, if it's available. If not, go ahead and throw that RE at the end of it. So I'll go ahead and continue with this one. And then she's going to just send me the code. So if anyone's signing up right now, it will always send you that code. This will be your login. So if you don't want to deal with passwords, I know passwords are like my nemesis personally. You can just sign in with the code each time, which is nice. But also later I will show you how you can set a password once you're inside. Okay. So 6455553. So it's asking us what our goal is. We're going to go ahead and select business. There'll be a lot of prompts that I like to skip through. So this is prompting that free trial. Up here at the top right, we're going to go ahead and skip. There are a couple times where it will promote the upsell. This is the one tool that we absolutely don't need a paid plan for. I know it's like the last thing we need is one more paid plan. We don't need it here. So just make sure you scroll to the bottom when it's promoting to find the plan for you. Just scroll to the bottom there and we'll go ahead and get started on the free plan. The upgraded plan is great for if you're in retail. There are some enhanced aesthetics that you can put, but I say just skip that and let's go with free. So when it comes to selecting a theme here, this can all be changed later. So I don't spend too much time on this right now. I'm going to go ahead and just pick one. And then I'll show you later how you can really enhance that. So I'm going to just pick a template that's kind of easy on the eyes there. Now it's going to ask what platforms you're on. I actually skipped this step here as well. So up at the top right, I'm going to hit skip, and I'll show you why once we get inside. Same with adding links. I like to really manipulate the link tree and how I want it. So if you put the links in here, it's going to put it where Linktree wants it. So I go ahead and skip this step as well. And again, this will all be in the follow-up tools that we send you. So here is where I do like to work on this section here. So we'll go ahead and simply add in our profile details. So I am going to upload my headshot really quickly. If you don't have your headshot handy, you can use your snipping tool. So you can like Google yourself or look yourself up on your website. If anyone has not used their snipping tool, that is your homework assignment, is to chat GPT how to use my snipping tool. It's literally the best thing ever. That's a little tip for you. So now here in the display name is where I'm going to put, actually, I'm going to put me. I was putting her, but this is where I'm going to put, I'll say like specialist, but this is where you would want to put your title here. And then for the bio, now Linktree intentionally limits the bio to 160 characters, which I think is good because if they let us have more, we'd use it all, right? So what I recommend doing here for your bio is you can go to your website or your realtor.com or your Zillow, and you can crop out those long, massive bios that you have. And then you can head over to like Chat GPT or AI, and you can have it help with the bio. So let's say that, I'm going to do this really quickly. So let's say I'm pulling my long bio for my website. I'm going to send you this prompt as a follow-up as well. But I would say to ChatGPT, let's take this long bio that I have and let's do an optimized one for Linktree. So I even mentioned having a strong call to action, add my phone number at the end. And now I'm pasting in an example of like a lengthy bio from a site. So again, I'll send you that prompt so that you have it. But this is, so here we go, short and sweet. You can ask it for more examples if you want to kind of pick through that. But I am going to go ahead and just take this and I'm going to put it in. Now, also you can put your broker here as well. Or in, you know, somewhere in your bio, you want to go ahead and put the broker also. So for me, a little fun fact too, some might know this already, but like this here is called an M dash. So when you see that really long dash that hugs the letters on either side, that is a sign that someone's used AI. So I always take those out and do a regular dash there. Okay, so I'm going to go with this. And it got me super close. So we've got 157 characters. I would probably I'm an emoji person, so I'm going to throw an emoji in there. Another little fun fact, emojifinder.com is one of my absolute favorite tools for agents. So if you go to emojifinder.com, you can put in any type of emoji you're looking for. We use this all the time for like social media. You could do key. When you click on it, it copies it automatically, and then you can post it into whatever you're working on. So maybe I'll do a house. Also, another tip for like socials or newsletters or emails, if you put in a color, it'll pull any emojis that are that color. So it's kind of fun for social media stuff too. I like that. But I copied house. So I am going to just for fun, stick a house in there. Okay. Oh, there we go. There's also a little tool here as well. If you want it to, like, there's an AI tool built into here, but another tip that I always give to agents is make sure to, if you're using AI already, a lot of these tools, like AI is popping up everywhere. So Linktree, your website, different social media platforms. I always recommend that you go ahead and use the AI tool that you've already seasoned because the results are going to be so much better. So even though it's another screen, instead of being tempted here by using AI, I would use ChatGPT because it already knows me and loves me. And so the results are going to be much better then starting to dabble with AI on all these tools. So once you do that, you can set your profile. Now I'm going to skip and I'm going to just whip this up within Linktree as well, because I want to show you how you can manipulate your profile when you're in there. So I'm going to skip that, but that's how you would go ahead and build that. And then we'll just hop right in. So now I'm going to whip up that bio super fast so that you can see once you're in here, or if you accidentally skip that, or you want to skip it when you build, how quickly you can add this back in. So this was that bio that I used. I just copied that back in. Maybe I'll do that. Or however you want to kind of do that there. And then my headshot really quick. So it'll bug me if I don't have it in there. We'll just pop that in. Okay. So now for the fun stuff. And you can kind of play with this any which way that you'd like, obviously. But now what we're going to do is we're going to add in our little contact icons up here. So if we had put in like our email and all of our social media handles right at the beginning there, it would have built it all out as links. And I don't really like that. I like to save all of our links for like the fun links that we want to use. And then I build out the socials and contacts up here, because you'll see it makes some cute little icons instead of just adding more links to a bunch of links we're already going to be using. So up here, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to add the platforms that we want people to see. So if you have not posted on Facebook in 3 years, let's not put Facebook on here, right? If you're only using Insta, let's push everyone to Insta. This is that tool that allows us to do that versus like having the anxiety of like, they're going to go, I should be posting on Facebook and they're going to go to my Facebook. It's like, let's push them all to Instagram or YouTube or whatever platforms that we're using. And if we're not using any of them, let's just send them to our email or whatever. So for Instagram, I'm gonna just pull myself up really quick. And so my agent Edge. So your Instagram handle or your link is just right here up top. So you find yourself, you don't even have to be logged in order to do that. And I'm just going to, actually, I think with this, you have to do that. Yeah. So with Instagram, it's actually going to be your username here. So I'm going to put that and I'm going to add that. And there we go, a cute little Instagram icon. So we could do the same for Facebook. So if I'm logged into my personal Facebook and I want to search for myself, I can find my business page here. I'm going to click up here and let's see about adding Facebook. So I'm going to add a social icon. I can search for Facebook to go quicker. What was right up top there. And so this is asking for the full URL. Gives you an example there, and I'll go ahead and add my Facebook. You can move these to the bottom if you'd like. I've always kept them on top, but that is just an option that you can do. Also, social icons include email and phone number as well. So I would want to add my email address, and then these are clickable. So if someone is finding you from their phone or the computer, they would click on the email and it will populate the email. Same with the phone number. So if you wanted to do phone number, you could just put in phone and put your phone number in there as well. Even though I have the phone number listed, I always put it as an icon as well so that they have that option to go ahead and click. So for time's sake, those are all the ones that I'll do now, but we can do LinkedIn, you can do YouTube. Your website is the big one. So we definitely want to do your website as well. Okay, so that is the basic kind of bio here. And this does, like I said, count as SEO. So we are hoping that when people search for us, our link trees will populate. So you really want to optimize this as much as possible. Try to kind of take the foof out. Do those big cities that you service. You know, it's going to be clear in our links that we might service the entire valley, right? So like maybe I am in Phoenix and Scottsdale, but I don't want to miss out on a Cave Creek person or Surprise. I don't really want to clog this up. We're going to show them all of that with our links. Yes.
Vanessa had a question. She was wondering if all socials have to be a business account or if they can be your personal account.
Okay, good question. No, they do not have to be business on here. So you can put in whatever you want on here. Yeah. Super good question. Okay, so now I'm going to go in. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a couple different things. And again, this is going to be a lot and I'm going to move kind of quickly. But we're going to go over how to do links and collections now. So as I work through this, or if you're building with me or later, I'm going to show you on my website. I have created, so if you go to myagentedge.com and go to resources, I've already put a ton of link ideas in here for y'all. So you can pull them from my site if you see any that you'd like. So I did one for Arizona, and then I also did one for Nevada. So I'm going to show you what this looks like first, and then we'll run through actually building the links. But if I were to click on the Arizona one, so these are all ideas of links that we can be building as we go. So we're going to do collections for buyers, for sellers, and then some fun local stuff today. So when you circle back or you're adding, here are all some great links that you can pull from. So we might want to do events this week in Scottsdale. I've got links for Phoenix. I've got links for dining. I've got a great golf guide. There's hiking on here, schools. And then also I have all the links from ROC Title here as well. So if you wanted to pull, they have some awesome tools. So I'll show you how to build some in. But for buyers, we can do the home buyer guide. For sellers, home seller guide. I turn these all into clickable links. So we'll go through that. Rates, if you work with a lender, you can put rates in here. NerdWallet's a good one if you don't. So just keep this in mind and then it'll make more sense later too when you're working on yours. But I did one for Nevada as well. They have some really cool resources. So, and then I'll show you, let's see. Yeah, so these are all the guides from Title as well for Nevada. We've got sports calendars, golf guides. I love this, the for the pups, of course. So the ones we've got some agents that are all about the pups. So if that is you, dog friendly dining, the dog parks, all the things. And then just to kind of show you a couple examples of like how we find these. So here in the Valley, we like, if you're in Scottsdale, Experience Scottsdale is the absolute best site ever. And so there's almost like one of these for every city. So like Phoenix, there's a Visit Phoenix. There's a Glendale one. There's a Surprise one. For Vegas, there's a Visit Las Vegas. And they all kind of look the same. I'm like, is the same person like doing all these? But on the Scottsdale one, if you go to like maps and guides, these are all awesome clickable flip books that you can add. So just keep this in mind. They have kids guides, Western guides. I just put this into one, the architecture guide, a lot of Frank Lloyd Wright, Taliesin type stuff. They even have printable coloring pages for kiddos, and a general Arizona guide. But like if you want to link to events and you don't want to deal with time sensitive links in your link tree, you can put this, and then whenever they come here, it's all updated events. Or you can even do like the events this week tab and do something like that. So just kind of fuel for thought as you are planning out your links. And then again, so for Vegas, and then I kind of was like dabbling with Henderson and kind of trying to dig a little deeper. So there's Visit Las Vegas, a lot of strip type stuff. So I tried to find like more of the local stuff. But like for Henderson, the city of Henderson, I was like super impressed with all their stuff. Like they have dog parks, pickleball. Like you could just do a link to the pickleball, like urban forest, the tennis courts, all their programs and classes, their facilities. So like here, a big thing in Arizona is like retirement in like Sun City West or the West Valley. And there are just like these amazing tools that we have agents build out. And then you're sticking that QR code on like your farming mailers, right? Or your open house flyers. And so just a really cool way to get people where we want them to go. So just keep all that in mind as I go ahead and build out some sample links. So again, I'm going to pretend like I'm an agent here in the Valley. So let's go ahead and just do a couple links. Let's use the ones from Title because they're really, really good. So let me go see now is where I have 5,000 screens up. I'm going to clear some of these out. I got lost. Okay. Let me go back to my site. And let's pull a buyer guide and a seller guide. So I'm going to pull the home buyer guide. I'll just click right here. And I'm just going to take this link and just put it right in. So I'm going to go ahead and go to add. I'm going to add a link, paste it right in, and hit link. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to show you how to customize these also, but for right now, just for the sake of not getting confused, I'm going to do home buyer guide right here. I might switch this up. But for right now, I'm going to just change the title. I mean, these are so user-friendly. It's like link, what you want to call it, and then we can add a little, I'll show you how to add some graphics if we want, but I'm going to put in the seller guide as well really quickly. So home seller guide, copy. And I went to add a new link. I'm going to just paste this right in. Okay. And I'm going to say home seller guide. Okay. So now I've got those two guides. I'm going to make these into collections really quick, and then I'll show you kind of some more fun stuff. So now I'm going to add, I like to add my links. Sometimes I'll dump in a ton of links and then I'll organize them into collections later. But if I were to go here and hit add collection, this is where we really get to get organized. So here I'm going to do my 4 buyers collection, and I'm going to hit enter. And now I'm going to add another one for sellers. And then this is, I just love this thing. I'm going to just drag these in to my collections. So all of this is drag and drop. So these little guys here, you just drag them in, and then we can also reorganize our collections if we wanted to. So if I wanted like 4 buyers first, I could do that. And then this is showing you a preview over here of what everyone will see. It's really cool too, because once this link is set, and if I make a change, it's automatic. So you never have to mess with like the link or the QR code. Everything is updated in real time, which is nice. So now I've got my 4 buyers and my 4 sellers collection. And then let me just show you a couple ideas here. So for aesthetics, there is a lot to the design, but just a couple things right off the bat. You can go ahead and hit thumbnail here. And there are a couple different options. So we could choose from these little icons, which aren't super exciting, but it's easy. And if I'm just going to show you what it looks like. These aren't my style, but I'm going to just show you. If I were to pop that in, it would populate that here. So like if you're doing a home search tool, you can put in like search, and what I could put in something like this if I wanted to. So that is option number 1. Option number 2 is to actually do a really pretty graphic. And what's super cool is if you put links to your listings, it will often pull from the first photo that you have set in MLS. So that is neat. And for some of the Scottsdale guides, it'll actually pull some pretty images for us, which you'll see here in a minute. But so anyway, this is if I wanted to across the board kind of have those black stock images there, I could do that. If I wanted to remove this and just go with emojis, I could go back to emojifinder.com, and then I could put my emojis in here, which is kind of cool. So if I wanted to, and sometimes I'll do this with collections. So let's say I do a house, I'll click on my house so it's copied. If I wanted to just do emojis, I could do something like this. And then my little emojis stick in there. And then you can do that on the collections as well. So I wouldn't necessarily do this, but I'll leave that in for the sake of things. And then if you're super visual and you wanted to do an image and you wanted to get a little bit fancy, you could snip an image from here and then set that as a graphic. So say I wanted to zoom out and I liked this because it was pretty, like I could use my snipping tool and whatever site you're on, just get in the habit of snipping. And now on my other screen, I'm just saving this graphic really quick. And I'm going to upload it. So a little bit more tedious, but this is what we do. Like if we do this service for agents, we always do the pretty graphics. So, or I would use a stock image or whatever. You can connect it to Canva. You can do all sorts of things, but like this is probably what I would do. And then I'm going to take these off. So I might do something like that. Again, then if you add listings or you're using any sites that are pulling nice graphics, it'll all be like really aesthetically pleasing. So let me go ahead. Let's see. I'll find a different house now for this collection. And it's all auto saving. I don't need to hit save or anything like that. You get the idea with the graphics, so I won't do that for the home seller guide. But again, that is something that I would do. And then now let's go ahead and add in, so a couple different ideas. Let me pull up. When it comes to like the local area, so say Scottsdale and Phoenix were my main areas of service, or Las Vegas and Henderson, I might create a Scottsdale collection and then a Phoenix collection, which I will do that really quickly in a minute. But we did, I'll show you this one, which I thought this was kind of cool. Let me pull up an incognito window. This is just another idea. So this agent has put a ton of money and energy into home searches on her website. So we did neighborhoods for her. And then we broke down different home search links that funnel to her website. So that's an option as well. I mean, there's so much you can do, but that's a tip that I have is, and I'm always happy to like look at your website and help you identify links. If you are spending money, if you're spending a lot of money on your website, like we can use this as a tool to funnel people to the site and to those exact links that we want them to go to. So if you have like a great home valuation tool, if you've got a bunch of community things linked out and you're trying to get SEO points, through your website, then you can manipulate it in a way here where you're breaking those out as links and really pushing people there. If you're doing a blog on your site, or if you have like really good IDX with great custom searches, let's try to build that out and like push people that way. So that was what I liked about what we did here was she's pushing people to those exact searches on the site. And if you have a site that doesn't even have IDX, you don't like it, then we're not sending people there. Maybe we're doing like custom searches through MLS, and then you're sending them to that link. And then that's populating for them. So actually, let me see. I can show you a super quick. Well, I won't do that in case I can't find it. But like we have an agent here that is only selling in the Optima at Kierland. So it's like a super high end. They're condos in a nice area. So she did a custom MLS search, set I think an email address to it. And then it's search for homes in the Optima, click here, and then it takes them to her MLS because she doesn't really have a good website to send them to. So that is another really good idea as well. So let's do a Scottsdale collection real quick. So again, I like to do the links first. So I'm going to go to my Scottsdale and I'm just going to throw in a couple quick links. So I'm going to add a link here. I'll just throw in, I'll do two. Let's do the hiking and trail guide. Add my link. And now I'll make a quick collection that's going to say Scottsdale. And then if you have any sort of group you're going after, like you really focus on families, again, you could say for the family, and then you find all those links for the family or, for retirees. You kind of get the idea there. So let me do Scottsdale and then let's do like a cactus. I can't like not do emojis. It's weird. I have to like get them in there. Okay. Oops. So I've got my Scottsdale collection. Now I'm going to drag these guys in. And I would probably move this to the bottom. And then as you can see here, like it did pull this graphic. So see down here, it pulled the graphic from the events in Scottsdale. I really like that. So I would probably have all graphics, but say you're not comfortable with that. You don't want to deal with it. You can delete that. So the fact that this is highlighted means that they went in and put a graphic in, but I can hit remove and it will go ahead and just clear that out. So if they automatically go in, just pull them if you don't want them. And then just a couple other quick things. Let's say I want them to check out my reviews. This is another good thing is that a lot of agents they're like, all my reviews are on Zillow. And if they look me up on realtor.com, I have one, or if they look me up on Google, I haven't set up my Google business profile yet. So I don't want them there. So that's where, like, for me, and I am not good at gathering reviews. I'm trying to get better. I just asked for some. But I would look myself up, say I want to send them here. I would find myself on Google Maps or get into my Google business profile. You can, I'm not logged into this account, but you can say manage profile. If you want them to leave your review, there's a link where they can leave it for you. But if I wanted them to view my reviews, I could copy this link in. And then that could be something that I share too. So I can do like a read my 5-star review collection here and then just have that link. And then I could also do like a leave me a review if I wanted to. Another thing is booking tools are really popular right now. So I have like my Calendly booking tool. I could do something like this and paste this in. So it'll take them right to my Calendly calendar, which is cool. So I could import from Calendly if I wanted to. Right now, I'm going to keep as a link. We do a fun workshop on Calendly too. So I would say book a call with me. And maybe I'll have that at the top or something. And of course, I would put a phone, but I will not waste time doing that. So that's really neat too. And again, so many different ideas. So that kind of gives you the overall idea of how to do that. Maybe I would move this to the bottom. And so what's cool is that if you want to do this one time and leave it, you can easily come up with so many links you can literally never touch it again. Like all of the links that we're doing, they're not time sensitive. So you don't have to worry about links breaking or anything like that. If you're the type that wants to keep up with it, like my guy Ryan here, these are updated featured links here. So you could do more of like those time sensitive links if you wanted to, but you can get away with definitely not having to do that as well. So that kind of shows you that. I'm trying to think if there's anything I have a client that will update it seasonally. So like I said, summer is coming. So they'll have like a summer is coming collection. And then within that collection, search for homes here with pools, the upcoming movie theater schedule, like a beat the heat type, thing there. So to get a little crazier with it, what that client does is she does a farming piece. So she does a postcard for each season. And on the back is all her contact info and such. But on the front, it's like a neon color with a giant QR code to her Linktree. And it'll say like, beat the heat here. And that's it. And so she's hoping that goes up on a refrigerator. They scan that code and then they can see up top, like all the stuff that's happening here in the summer. So I think that's like, you can really get kind of neat with it if you want to use it as like a farming tool. I have another one that they created a Linktree. So we have an agent that just sells land. So she has like 12 to 15 land listings at a time. Her Linktree is only her listings. So when she uses it for marketing, scan here to shop my listings. That's all that they get when they get here. And then she'll have like a call to action looking for something else. Click here. So you can build it out in so many different ways when it comes to that kind of thing. Okay, so, and I could go on and on forever with ideas, but we will, up here at the top right, if you click this, so this is your actual link. So you can go ahead and copy and paste this. You can embed, this is where you would embed this into like an email signature. You could hyperlink it. So like in an email, you could have visit my Linktree as like the hyperlink and then embed that link here. Here's also where you can get your QR code. So you click there And then you just download your QR code right from here. You can use this in Canva. If you've got title helping with anything and you need to send them the QR code, you would do that here. And again, this never changes. So like this is my QR code forever, regardless of how much or little I manipulate the Linktree. Also, this is newer, so I haven't dabbled with it yet, but I noticed they have a digital card. And again, I haven't played with it, but it looks like what you can do is store this in your Google or Apple wallet and like share or do the bump with people if you're out at events. And it will take them to the Linktree, which is probably a really neat feature there. And so then now just to go on to the back end to the aesthetics. So I will just show you really quickly how we can do that. So up over here on the left, we'll hit design. And then this is where you can either have a little bit of fun or just go insane because there's tons of stuff. If you see the little lightning bolt, these will be what the pro features are. So if you did want to get fancy, I think it's not that expensive, like a few bucks a month, I think. But there are plenty of options on the free version that you can do. So you'll see your header, you'll see your theme. So this is where you can change that theme. Here is your wallpaper. So as far as your background goes, what you can do too is if you wanted to brand this to like your broker, if you know the hex code, for your broker's colors, or they have a marketing kit, or if you even have your logo and you put that logo into Canva and then go to edit, it'll show you the hex code. So you can put in whatever, or you can pick whatever color you wanted to, and it will change the background. But like we just had a client with the agency. So we pulled the agency logo, put it into Canva and clicked to edit, and it gave us the exact red hex code for the agency. So that was good. You can add gradient or blur. I'll show you how we'll change the colors here too. But that is that. And then we can do you can do the gradient direction. So we'll go into text now. So this is going to show there are tons of fonts that you can do for free as well. And a lot of like the sans fonts. But if your broker has certain fonts too, you can search for those here. So that's fonts. And then, so like page text color, I would now want this to go white since I did the blue background there. And then let's go to our buttons. So here on the buttons is where we can make them square, we can make them round. I have this shadow here on mine that I don't necessarily need, so I would maybe pull that, or that I don't like, so I'd pull that. You can change the button colors, the text colors, all of those things here. And then again, this is like all the colors in one spot. So if you had different hex codes for the broker or anything like that, you could do that. I will show you really quickly if, like I said, if you are really wanting to level it up, these clients just did upgrade to go, they wanted to go kind of fancy. So they did this. And this is where you can add like a lot of, you can go very image heavy if you wanted to. So you could have like a much larger photo if you wanted to. And then again, these are pulling from the MLS. So this will show, they wanted it to be more of that like shop my listing type of situation. And then again, Substack. And then here are some more examples. They're down in Tucson, but these are some examples of those buyer resources. These are taking them to the website. You can see they did a combo of those little tabular icons plus the graphics. Let's see, what's my home worth? Oh yeah, anything you've been featured in or any podcast, like if you really want to highlight, if you were on a podcast, you can put that there, which is kind of nice. I've even had people build landing pages just because of this, where it would be like frequently asked questions or tips for buyers or tips for sellers that you might want to offer, and you can send people there from that. And then again, so similar to what we've talked about. So like Marana, they have a visit thecity.com. So we click here and it takes you, let's see what it is. discovermarana.org. So again, looks the same as like literally almost the exact same as we found for Scottsdale. Another one, if you're in the valley, another kind of popular thing is if you went to experience Scottsdale and you did like an Arizona one, there's a really nice Arizona guide, and you could do some resources to like Flagstaff, Sedona. That's what that Beat the Heat agent does. Is she'll have a little collection for that too, which is really nice. And then again, so Oro Valley, trying to get them onto LinkedIn, which is nice. And then it's neat too, because I'm viewing this on my desktop. So if I wanted to scan this from my phone, I could. And then again, so their like link in bio in all of their social media handles would indeed be a link just going straight to the Linktree. Okay, so here's all of that. And then another thing too is so insights, if you wanted to, I'm going to I'll save these. So you can check insights. They're not super specific to who is looking, but if you go to your dashboard here, this is where you could see like 0 clicks because I'm just building this out. But you can see who is clicking and who is viewing your stuff. So the agent I mentioned for open houses, like I thought this was cool. So yeah, he ordered, in Canva, we made an 11 by 17 sign, like a jumbo sign. And then on Amazon for like $20, he ordered it's called a pedestal sign. So it's like on a stand, and he puts this big sign in and it says, "Thank you for visiting. Let's connect." And then the QR code takes them to his Linktree, and they can subscribe to your Linktree too. So it'll say, "Join me on Linktree." And then depending on what kind of phone you're using, it will save it into the contacts in your phone. But anyway, he sends people to hear from there. And again, he's like constantly updating it and such, which is nice. So I think that's a cool idea. And then he has a lot of call to actions right at the top here. But what he does is he like obsesses over the clicks. So he'll like look at how many clicks he has, and then as people are leaving, if he has like he does a lot of broker opens too. So he'll always like check when people are leaving to see who's clicked. And then I believe on the upgraded version, you could get more into analytics here if you really wanted to. And there's so much more you can do. So another thing here, if you click layout, you can click here and it'll make it kind of like that bigger aesthetic as well. You can only do that with one on the free version, but if you do have a website you like, or like somewhere a featured listing, we have some agents that actually will highlight to their sellers that they use Linktree to feature their listings. So they'll do like a listing performance report to their sellers. And this is sort of just like another medium that they show sellers that they're featuring their listings on, which is kind of nice as well. So I'll go ahead and hide that. I'm going to fix my title here. So like if I wanted to go here, title text, this is, like I said, like a little kind of shortcut for that. And then another thing too is like you got to think, so anything can become a link, which is cool. So like if you download any type of guide, you can make it into a link. So say you have like a buyer or seller's guide that is only in PDF right now. If you use Adobe or Google like free tool that turns a PDF into a link, you can turn anything into a link, which is really neat too. So you could even do, say you did not like your website, or we had someone that was like locked out of their website and could never change it. So we created like an About Me PDF and turned that into a link to put into Linktree. So you can do something like that. You can also create your own like printables, or we had somebody that actually created in Canva like printable coloring pages or fun like worksheets. You could do like moving day checklists or like recommended vendor lists. So you just create the PDF and then you would turn it into a link, that's really neat too. So going back here, I think I've covered mostly all the main ways to build. Let me save this. Oh, if you do want to set a password, I would go up here and I would go to my account. And then here's where you can go ahead and set up like the two-factor authentication, or you can create your password. Like I said, I like how it just sends me a code each time. I think that's kind of nice. And if you manage like a team and want to set this up for your team, again, that video I'll send you. It's like an 8-minute video going over this. But you can have your team set it up. And there's also ways to share the template. So say you want to create one and then share that template across the team, and then they can go in and just kind of edit it like you might do in Canva or whatever. You can do that too, which is really nice. Let me see what else. There's link shorteners. There's so much on here. There are also forms, which I don't go into too much detail here just to prevent overwhelm. But if you go to add, you can actually add forms. So on the free version, it's a little more limited, but I mean, this is so cool. So you could add like an RSVP form. You can add a contact form. You can say like what is my home worth? And they fill out a form. And then like what you can do too is link the Linktree up into your social media stories. So like the guy that spends all the time updating his Linktree, anytime we have like a call to action up in stories, we will send them to the Linktree. So he might have a form here. Like he just did like a what was it? Like a March Madness contest. So he wanted to get more people to the Linktree just so that they were scrolling, which is actually a reason why sometimes I don't recommend this here, because I feel like it takes up so much space that it's preventing them from like seeing everything that we have. But anyway, he will have the link to sign up for something in his Linktree, or say he does like Thanksgiving pies. He'll do Thanksgiving pies for his clients, but then he'll run a thing on social saying the first 10 people that sign up will get a free pie. He will send them to the form on Linktree, again, just so that once they're there, they see all of the different tools that he has. And so that's kind of neat too. So the forms are really neat. We had one client that just didn't know how to do Google Forms or website forms, so they just did the form on the Linktree. Which is neat as well. So I'll get out of that. But that's an option there. Again, we wouldn't necessarily want to do product, but you can kind of pick through and do all sorts of things. You can upload files on here as well if you really want to, but I usually recommend just sticking with the links. And then again, kind of now circling back to this, are just all the ideas that we've talked about. So again, your listings, I think you can even, if you wanted to do like a shop my listings button, I think you could create like a saved search just for your active listings, if I'm not mistaken, and then have that on there. Again, all your guides, I think we went through most of these. Oh yeah, and again, your newsletter. So if you use like MailChimp or Flowdesk, those are two of our favorite email newsletter programs. They all come with links for people to view the newsletter and to subscribe. So you can have that right at the top of your Linktree. If you're pushing your Linktree in farming or whatever, if that's something right up top, like my March newsletter, they click here, they can view the newsletter and subscribe. That's huge right there. And a lot of programs probably have that. I think ActivePipe has it. So I'm sure they all have something like that. Again, the About Me. Oh yeah, you can do like an upcoming open houses link. So that would be a saved search just for the open houses. And then all the reviews and such here. And then let's just peek at this one last time. Yeah, home value. Again, if you really want to push them to social, you can build your social as an actual link. So say you're like trying really hard on TikTok, or you're trying to get your YouTube up. You could put that as a link in addition to how he has them on the bottom there. So here's an example of where she might have reviews on multiple platforms. So if you've got some good ones on realtor.com and you've got other good ones on Zillow, that's a good idea, is to have the multiple links there. I like that too. Upcoming events, and then oh yeah, he's trying to push people to YouTube. Oh, the VIP Facebook group there as well. And then just the very last thing is so on the ROC, I was looking at the ROC title site. If y'all haven't gone on here already, and you go to the resources, so like for buyers and sellers, this is where you can pull a lot of those tools. I'm sure there's a lot of other stuff too, but here's like where the guides are that you could download. Obviously, you can pull them from my site as well. But if you have a lender you work with, like we have, they're all different kinds, but like I just met someone with like forward loans. So say I went there, you can peruse through all the different links and tools. And then again, like NerdWallet is awesome. But use all of those sites. Oh, I got lost again. But use all of those sites to your advantage to kind of find the different things that are available. So